I promise you, when you look at your bank account in that way, like, money is just you're gonna look at your bank account one day and see racks on racks on racks.
It's not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about how I'm able to save $5,000 in just 6 months. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are going to hop right in, you guys. So this video, I'm gonna try not to make it too long. I have two methods for you to save $5,000 in 6 months, okay? I like to keep things very simple. I've tried using the apps and all types of stuff, you guys. I find, for me, the simpler, the better, okay? So if you're like me, you'll probably find one of these two methods work really well for you, okay? So the first method, I have talked about this previously in a couple of my other videos, okay? This particular method I came across it a couple years ago, and this is the method that has allowed me to pay off or finish paying off my student loans, okay? So what it is a savings challenge, okay? What happened, or how I came across this method, I was scrolling on Instagram one day, and a friend of mine who went to high school posted this savings challenge, okay? And it was literally how to save $5,000 in 6 months, okay? What it is every week there is a monetary goal, okay? The goals start off really small, like less than $100, and they gradually increase over time, okay? So it's very simple. You have a preset goal, and all you have to do is simply save that money, take it from your checkings and move it to your savings account, and don't touch it. It's that simple, okay? I'm gonna put up the picture of what the goals actually are. And actually, you guys, this is a good time because it's July, okay? 6 months from now, it will be December. So this is a good time to actually start this savings challenge, okay? Again, it's super easy. You have a preset goal. All you have to do, okay? All you have to do is take that money from your checkings, the exact amount, move it over to your savings at the end of every week or at the beginning of every week, however you want to do it, okay? When I first started this, I actually turned it into a little game. And so I literally had like this spreadsheet, and you know, you can grab a couple friends if you have a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, you know, your family, whatever you want to do, grab a couple accountability partners to actually do this challenge with you to see if you can make it to the end. Again, it is so simple, you guys. All you do, you set aside the preset dollar amount that's listed on the challenge, and you put it in your savings account, and you don't touch it, okay? What a lot of people don't realize is when you are consistent, number one, but you start small. You don't have to have large sums of money to save money, you guys. When I did this challenge, literally, I think at the start of it, I had $5,000 and some change left on my student loans, and I was able to pay off the rest of my student loans doing this challenge, okay? This challenge also helped me to pay off my car. I bought a car and was able to pay it off in less than a year by also doing this challenge as well. So if you are consistent and you are disciplined and you do not touch the money that you put away, okay, you will be able to see that. So I think this is a really good method for those who are beginners, and you just need help, but you can't figure out. Literally make a game out of it, grab some accountability partners, and go for it, okay? And let me know, for those who try this, let me know how it ends up, if it works out for you. Okay, so for the second method, you guys, this is actually a very old, faithful tactic, I guess you could say. It's not old faithful, it's old school. It's an old school tactic. That's what I'm trying to say. I simply give myself an allowance. I know it's at this big age, yes, I give myself an allowance, okay? So it's so interesting. When I was a child, I used to get allowance. I got a quarter, so 25 cents for every A that I got on, I think, my report card, okay? And you know what's crazy? At a certain point, I realized, well, I'm realizing now at a certain point, I don't know what point that was, but my parents stopped giving me money because I guess that was enough to motivate me. Y'all, I was salutatorian of my high school, so I got a lot of A's in my lifetime, okay? But it was fine because in high school, once I got to high school, I actually started, that's when the entrepreneurship bug first bit me. I started a candy selling business, and I was the top female candy seller in my high school, y'all. I graduated with $3K saved up off candy. So, and my parents did help me to, like, they bought, you know, they took me to Costco to get the candy and stuff. So I guess that was their way of like supporting without giving me money for the A's that I was making. But anyway, allowance, okay? The idea of setting aside, giving yourself a budget for allowance has helped me tremendously. I have had it, so this is the key though, right? What is the number that you need? Groceries, you know what I mean? What is the number that you feel like you need during a pay period to live? This is not extra stuff. This is not, we're not talking about going to brunch. We're not talking about going on trips. We're not talking about all that stuff. Like, what is the survival number, I guess, is my question, that you feel like you need in order to make it through the next 2 weeks, right? And I challenge you to try to give yourself an allowance that is solely that survival number, maybe a little bit more, okay? And I don't care. I could be transparent and tell you guys how much I give myself for allowance. So every pay period, for the past like 3 or so years, I've been giving myself $500. That is my allowance. $500 every 2 weeks, okay? So $1,000 a month is what I pay myself, and that is my spending money for the month. Now, at one point when I first started, that number did include bills. So actually it was even less. It was like half of that was actually my spending money, right? Because I did include bills. Now, because I am making a little bit more, bills, the way that I pay bills is a little bit separate, right? So what I do is I pay my bills first, and then based on what's left, I then will give myself an allowance out of what's left over, okay? Once I hit that number, everything else that comes in immediately goes into savings, immediately. And my allowance does not carry over, right? So let's say if last month I didn't spend the whole money that was, like all of the money that was allotted, I don't just stack and now I have more money. I mean, maybe I could, but I want to prioritize saving as opposed to just having money in my checking account, right? So I don't stack. I move everything to my savings account, okay? So that has helped me a lot. And the reason why it has, I think the key is that my number has never changed, right? Even as I continue, I mean, at one point, will it change? I don't know, maybe, we'll see. But like right now, based on my financial goals for the end of the year, that's another thing too. I do set financial goals, guys. I set how much money, it's just like a business, right? Business, you have sales goals. Me personally, I have financial goals. How much money do I want to have in my savings account by the end of the year? How much money, what is my salary, right? Like, do I have salary goals? Am I trying to reach a certain, number? Because if it don't look like I'm gonna hit that number, then maybe it's time to change jobs. You know what I'm saying? So there's like all these things, do I want to buy a house? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? So like I definitely set financial goals for me for the year, and that is what helps to dictate kind of what I do and how much I need to save and all of that stuff. The other key, so the first key is that I have not changed my number, and I challenge you, keep that same number for the next 2 to 3 years, and let's see how much money you're actually able to save, okay? The other key is that I have certain threshold boundaries, right? So every interval of 5,000 that I hit in my savings account then becomes the new floor, not the ceiling. It becomes the floor. So for example, once I hit the first 5,000 in my savings account, that first 5,000 then becomes zero. And what I mean by that is my savings account can never go below 5,000. Once I hit that first 5,000 threshold, it can never go below 5,000. So if something happens, if I go on a trip or whatever, I can't dip because I can never have less than 5,000 like ever again. That's like my personal goal. Then once I make another 5,000, right? And I get to 10,000. Then at that point, that 10,000, that's the new floor. That's the new threshold. I can never allow myself to go below $10,000 in my savings account. Ever. And if I somehow had to dip for whatever reason, I need to make a plan to pay that back ASAP with interest. You know, I don't do the whole interest thing. That's a little bit much. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the priority of it. It's about being disciplined, right? Same thing. You hit 15,000 becomes the new threshold. And I promise you, when you look at your bank account in that way, like, money is just you're gonna look at your bank account one day and see racks on racks on racks, you guys, okay? So it works. Now, really quickly, in terms of paying bills, because someone did ask me to just share my thought process in terms of how I pay bills or how I just stay organized. So I do have this spreadsheet that I created. And again, this is so simple, guys. I don't like to overcomplicate my life. I don't like to overcomplicate things. It's really simple. All I do is I have a spreadsheet that keeps track of all of the expenses, okay? And the reason why I create this in the first place is because when I first moved into my home, there's obviously a lot more things that I'm responsible for paying than before when I was in an apartment or just staying at home with my parents, right? So I wanted something where I could literally keep track of everything that I'm supposed to pay that's pertaining to my house, right? Other thing I do with this spreadsheet, you guys, and this is really good for if you are a business owner or maybe you're thinking about starting a business, you have an LLC. I track like business expenses or better yet, I track things that I plan to write off, you know, for taxes for the next year, okay? If you own a business, you can write off and everything, okay? You can write off anything and everything. If you go on trips, those are business trips, you know what I mean? Even if you buy a car, okay, that can be your company car. If you I'm buying decor to decorate my office. I work from home. So this, you know, this room and my decor and everything will be written off as a business expense. So especially if it's large purchases that I have, I just make sure I'm tracking everything that could potentially be written off as a business expense. That way, when it comes time for taxes, I do not forget. And again, this is a yearly view calendar, so I can track like, okay, I did this during this month. This is how much, whether it was recurring or whatever. So that's just what the spreadsheet is. Like, it's very simple. I'm just going over this because someone requested that I share it. So it's just very simple, you guys. But I think the biggest thing when it comes to budgeting and saving money is you need to know where your money is going, right? So if you are spending a lot of money, whether it be food or whatever, just identify where's your money going, right? Where can you maybe cut down on some things, sacrifice, you know, certain things, right? And then just be disciplined and be consistent and save. So you have two methods that I gave you. Hopefully one of them work. Like, honestly, just try either or, okay? Try either or. I definitely recommend it if you've never been successful at saving before. Start with the savings challenge. Try it for 6 months. Let me know how you do, okay? And then try to move up to an allowance if you are able to. So I hope this was helpful. If anyone else has any budgeting tips, please drop them in the comments, okay? Because we need to help each other, you guys. I really want everyone to be able to feel financial freedom. Like, I want you guys to be able to experience it, because there's nothing like waking up in the morning and not having to worry about money. You know what I mean? And I know that it's not everyone's situation, but there's practical things that you all can do to get to that place. And so if I can share some of my habits that have made me successful so far, you know, I want to share it, because I want everyone to be able to experience financial freedom. So hopefully this was helpful. Again, if you have any additional tips, drop them in the chat, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.